you for the introduction. Good afternoon. My name is Sakuma. Today I'm presenting our study titled Experiential Process Model for Enhancing Classroom Management Skills in Teaching through Microteaching. Okay, inclusive okay, let's start. And this is the background. Inclusive education often brings unique challenges with diverse student needs, leading to unexpected behaviors. Teacher needs skill to effectively manage these situations and create a productive classroom environment. Emergent learning is all about the adaptive skills teachers pick up to the hundred ever-changing needs to their classroom. Okay, it's about to have future teachers to be flexible and responsive to their students, making classroom management more effective and boosting the overall quality of education. Microteaching allows teachers candidates to practice classroom management skills in controlled environment. Microteaching can teach emergent behaviors that prevent unexpected classroom disruptions. By simulating real classroom dynamics, teacher candidates can develop adaptive management skills in a safe space. Especially Sakuma et al. 2019 developed image cards to assist pupil roles out in microteaching for the purpose. This study provides insights into the design and implementation of microteaching sessions that incorporate unexpected student behaviors. In our study, we used image cards based on Sakuma 2019. These cards represent different types of student behaviors and achievement level to create a realistic classroom scenario. This allowed preserve teachers to interact with realistic classroom scenarios and develop practical management skills. So purpose of this study is following as you see. We propose an experiment process model, which refines Yoshizaki's 1988 decision-making model to enable prospective teachers to learn classroom management skills experientially through microteaching. And second, we evaluated microteaching method that use image cards to help teacher candidates manage unexpected student behaviors. Actually, the example of this studied practice of microteaching. That is a teacher role of students. All right, let's begin, she says. Oh, I don't feel like it. And turning away this student. They are both face forward, please now. Let's review the classroom rules. And second, yeah, opinion is as yellow boy is very smart student, right? But look, butterfly is coming. He is not a good smart student also. This is a model microteaching we designed. Thank you. Okay, this is an emergent learning model in this, this is the emergent learning model in this study. We teachers have various knowledge of the pupils, materials, of lesson. In left line, emergent learning process in micro sessions. And then as teacher, we come across all kinds of student behaviors. There's sleeping, interruptions, lost materials, and even some disruptive behavior. A teacher will pick up on the different student attitude and behaviors in the classroom. And then so they notice what's expected and what's not. And they can tell the difference between behaviors that were okay and those that are not. The teacher's role then recognizes these discrepancies between the lesson plan and the actual situation and the factors. Furthermore, these provide opportunity for teachers to apply management strategies to bridge the gap between their lesson plan and the actual classroom dynamics. So we are looking at something called emergent learning. This study explored how microteaching helps teachers develop skills to handle unexpected classroom behaviors. Specifically, it evaluates effectiveness of these sessions in fostering emergent learning skills for the real-time classroom environment, in classroom management. This is the method of the evaluation. The evaluation focused on three main criteria: realism, skill development, and then effectiveness. Realism is the extent which simulated scenario resembles real classroom dynamics. Skill development opportunity provides to practice essential management skills. Effectiveness, the ability of the candidates to respond to and manage unexpected behaviors. Using the criteria, we conducted an expert evaluation experiment on the microteaching environment and learning. We asked 5 expert teachers to evaluate it. Expert teachers with an average of 29.8 years of the experienced participants. They evaluated the realism and learning opportunity of our simulated classroom scenario. They evaluated watched video recordings of the micro-teaching sessions and assessed them using a 5-point scale and multiple choice. For instance, this behavior is commonly observed in the actual classroom. Therefore, I would rate it as a 5. And in these situations, the teacher can learn immediately about the use of teaching materials. I would say answer L skills. This experiment helped us understand how well our micro-teaching session prepared teacher candidates for the real-world classroom management. The simulated lesson built by expert teachers involved 2 groups. Both groups focus on 4th grade mathematics, specifically on the topic of estimation. The lesson objective given was to understand how to add and subtract decimals to and from one decimal place, and to be able to perform this calculation. In both groups, all university students acting as elementary students were given image cards. As you saw the yellow and red is not smart boys. However, in group 2, sorry. Okay. In both groups, all university students acting as elementary students were given image cards. However, in group 2, the teacher role was unaware of the type of student they would be teaching when designing their lesson. As a result, group 1 prepared materials and an environment suitable for the student with poor learning attitude from the lesson planning stage. For example, they provided A4 seats for each student to place on the floor and use alone, and narrow seats as teaching materials. On the other hand, group 2 followed the standard teaching method. These are results. After they evaluated from the 2 groups, watched the simulated lessons, and then they rated then 5-point scale based on 5 criteria. Question to the 1 to 5, the table show the average ratings and standard deviations. The result of the statistical test determined whether the significant differences compared to the median rating of 3. The results showed significant trends and differences across all response from the rating groups. Additionally, for the simulated lessons of the two groups, the authors randomly selected specific situation and at 1 minute intervals. We then conducted an experiment where expert teachers rated each of these 31 situations on a 5-point scale. Here are the results from the evaluation of those 31 specific situations by expert teachers. The result presented in the table highlights the significant differences in the degree of similarity and flexing of pupil roles. We aimed to determine the proportions of simulated situations that closely resembled actual classroom scenario as evaluated by the experts. To achieve this, one sample t-test was conducted using the result of the 5 responses for a total of 31 simulated situations. 15 from design 1 and 16 from design 2. A key finding from the statistical analysis indicated that 60% of the simulated situation in our micro-teaching sessions similar to real classroom cases. This suggests that our micro-teaching we design in the model effectively simulates real-life classroom dynamics. And next, our micro-teaching, sorry, wait. Okay. Additionally, we need to determine whether each scenario offers a chance to learn management skills. Therefore, we had evaluated select which of the 8 classroom management behaviors could be learned from each of the 31 situations shown earlier. These selections were then combined and analyzed. Then a kind test was used. But no significant difference revealed between the two designs in terms of the overall learning opportunity for management behaviors. However, subsequent analysis using the total score found significant differences in the specific IT types of management behavior opportunities experienced by the teacher role. And then additionally, to determine which types of the management behaviors provide learning opportunity for the teacher candidates during this practice, we conducted a post hoc test using Ryan's nominal level test. These are results as you see. The result indicates teacher candidates had more opportunity to learn the management behaviors of integrating teaching materials compared to other skills. Teacher candidates practice various management behaviors, for example, including attention, instruction, material integration, questioning, screening, communication, and activity adjustment. When faced with unexpected behaviors, they responded with actions like cautioning, score holding, and the class interruptions. Sorry. The teacher candidates experience various management behaviors, including attention, instruction, materials, insertion, question screening, communication, and activity changes. They found that unexpected behavior often triggered management actions such as cautioning, scolding, and interruptions across. Despite the initial student confusion, the teacher candidates learn to identify key student roles, adjust their lesson plans, and implement the appropriate management actions. This suggests the effectiveness of the method as an emergent learning approach for the developing and applying classroom management behaviors. Our study proposed micro-teaching as an effective method for developing classroom management skills in pre-serving teachers. By incorporating unexpected behaviors, these approaches offers realistic and comprehensive training experience. Previous research has highlighted the crucial role of emergent learning in classroom management. How 2017 noted the definition and the implementation of inclusive education vary across countries, emphasizing the need for the flexible response to the student needs. This study supports the potential and effectiveness of the micro-teaching in improving the essential teaching skills such as attention management, questioning techniques, and class control, as suggested by Gower, Chappell, and Kirik. This study suggests that micro-teaching can effectively prepare teachers by simulating real classroom dynamics. Future applications could enhance teacher training program worldwide, especially in addressing unexpected classroom behaviors. While the findings indicated potential benefits, further future research is required to establish more robust scientific validations. By defining the pre-teaching preparation of student roles and considering more diverse simulated situations, future student studies can better assess the effectiveness of the imagined learning strategies in classroom management training. This is the thank you for listening.